Hello, I will tell you a horror story of extortion from homeowners, but really anybody with property in the United States, nationally. Okay? So I happen to be a condo owner in Hawaii. I'm a whistleblower in a building that does not follow condo laws and is involved in many financial scams. And I exposed it and I was sued. I was sued in retaliation in a bogus lawsuit without evidence. And we went through an arbitration that was unfair, that was unconstitutional, where practically all my evidence was cut out so that I could not win from the get-go. The arbitration process was unfair. The arbitrator took the building testimony without evidence. The arbitrator took the building made-up facts, false facts, contrary to the official documents, meaning the arbitrator never even checked the documentation on this building. And the arbitrator ignored that HOA, that building witnesses admitted to various violations and scams. And the arbitrator wrote all of that into a ruling and condemned me as guilty and condemned me to pay them $280,000 of attorney fees, out of which $134 is against the law. You get the picture? So how is it possible for an arbitrator to do this? Now, in case that you ever go to arbitration, you need to be aware. Arbitrators are allowed by law to make mistakes. The law says that. There are arbitration rules, federal rules, and many states have state rules. In Hawaii, it is HRS 658A-23. However, HRS 658A-23 specifies when an arbitration is invalid and has to be canceled. So the entire HRS 658A has many rules for arbitrators. Some of the rules say the arbitrator is allowed to make mistakes as long as arbitration is overall fair. And then that -23 option says which mistakes arbitrator cannot make and the arbitration has to be canceled. So that is there to prevent corrupt arbitrators just running wild. So arbitrators can rule, but the ruling has to be confirmed by court first to become a legal ruling. So the circuit court in my case did not check my evidence and just said, oh, arbitrator is allowed to make mistakes, and just confirmed it without checking. And the association now has a judgment against me for $280,000, and they are starting to foreclose on my unit. They're taking my condo away. And that can take them 2 to 6 months. I made an appeal to appeals court that this is all wrong. But appeals court takes about 2 or 3 years to rule. Okay, meanwhile, the association can take my condo. And also, I asked the appeals court to stop the foreclosure, and the appeals court said, no, the attorneys have to get paid. And they quoted the Hawaii rail case. And Hawaii rail case is known for corruption, embezzlement, and waste, or several $billion. Okay? So all of this can happen to you. Now, since I'm condemned, you can be condemned because somebody can quote my lawsuit case to condemn you. Okay? So basically, my case is legalizing corruption. Legalizing corrupt arbitration, corrupt courts, corrupt everything. So, you need to help me to help yourself. Because if I go, you go. You're next, okay? So make sure to help me so that we stop all of this. So go to change.org/Hawaii condo and sign and share that petition widely. Okay? Thank you for that. I appreciate your support. We all need to help each other, or else we will all sink. Okay? This corruption raises the monthly dues for association, which raises the rents, and everybody is affected by it. So anyways, how did I get sued? I got sued when I was protesting the 2016 unapproved special assessment for $250,000. Each unit had to pay about $20,000, and no repairs was done until 2019. When a new roof was installed, when this old contract was thrown out. So the old contract for $250,000 for new roof, new railing, and concrete spalling was thrown out, and a new contract for $80,000 was put into place, and a roof only for roof, and a new roof was put in for $40,000. So just do the math. Out of $225,000 collected, about $40,000 was spent. So how much money is left in HOA or checkbook to be freely spent? And it was spent without approval. There's only about $60,000 left, and we owners don't know how. We are not given financials. So the association hid information about the roof. They hid the financial for about a year in 2019, and then I exposed it, and then they sued me. Within weeks, they sued me. They sued me for external modifications and internal modifications to my unit 301. That is very cheesy because those modifications were done 15 years before I bought the unit. 4 owners before me owned it without any consequence. The modifications were approved by board in 2010. The modifications were grandfathered by owners in 2018. I was sued in 2020. Meanwhile, the evidence that was meanwhile, the association has 6 other units that were modified without approval since 2018, September 2018, by board members and their supporters. All that evidence was cut out from this lawsuit. And the board and the property manager and the attorneys all lie that these units are approved. They're not approved. There's no evidence whatsoever. We all know that. So this is an example of a scam of a group of people. The owners, the previous owners who used to be board members and who modified these units, they came to testify at the arbitration hearing. They were caught in perjury and fraud, and all of that was ignored. The new owners who bought from these people, they now own these modified units, and the board tells them, oh, these units are modified. As long as you vote for us, we will not persecute you. So, of course, these new owners vote for the current board that is suing me for modification done 15 years ago, 4 owners before me. Actually, 15 years before I bought, the modifications were done 21 years ago. And 15 years before I bought it. Meanwhile, the association claims that modifications done in 2018 are approved. So, as you can see, this is really wrong. So go to change.org/Hawaii Condo. Hawaii is spelled as HAWAII. Condo is spelled as CONDO. So change.org/Hawaii Condo and sign that petition and widely share it, or else we are all going down. Legally and also karmically. If you allow me to sink, then bad things will happen to you because karma is a boomerang. Whatever you're doing to me, you're doing to yourself. So we all need to work together to keep United States constitutional and safe place for all of us. Okay, thank you for helping out. And I hope to hear from you. I want this to go to all reporters, to media, to influencers. I want it as widely spread as possible. We all need to know what's going on. Thank you and God bless you. I appreciate you.